Hola, hola, bienvenidos, bienvenidas to a brand new episode of the WorldsAcross Toolbox. My name is Juan, as always, and from the beautiful city of Buenos Aires, beautiful weather. And Vicky and Siriana from the WorldsAcross team are behind the cameras. ¿Cómo están, muchachas?
Woo!
Claro que sí, beautiful. They're excited, right? And they're excited because today we're going to talk about an important topic, like grammar related, Spanish grammar related. That is the verb be, right? And the verb be that we use basically ser and estar. Now, why is this so important? Especially for people that are learning Spanish from scratch, it could be kind of tricky because basically English speakers use just one verb for and we use two. For example, and you think about this. Yo estoy en la escuela is very different that yo soy feliz. I am at school and I am happy. They're very different sentences. So in Spanish, we have two different verbs for those sentences because they're very different, right? So when do we use ser? Ser is a verb we use for permanent features, permanent characteristics, such as your height, your occupation, and your nationality, that kind of stuff, right? And estar is a verb we use for non-permanent features, non-permanent characteristics, and locations, right? Like how you feel like one day and maybe where you are, that sort of things, right? Those sort of things. For example, I don't know, Vicky, help us here. Could you give us an example of the verb ser? I don't know.
Example of ser, yo soy venezolana, or yo soy de piel morena.
Very good. I like it. I like both examples. So just mentioning like her nationality, yo soy venezolana, y yo soy de piel morena, that is the color of her skin, right? Things that can change, right? And of course, you're gonna find the verb ser, and you heard her, right? Like she said, she didn't say yo ser, she said yo soy. That's why we conjugate. We have, the bases are ser and estar, but usually you'll find them conjugated with a specific pronoun. Basically, it means you can say like, yo ser, tú ser, el ser, sino, yo soy, tú eres, él es, this in the simple present, okay? Relax. And this gets easier and easier, no worries. But basically, let's think again about the verb ser and estar. It's something that permanent and non-permanent features. It's as simple as that. Of course, you're gonna find like exceptions and stuff, but we can talk about them later. Let's try with a couple examples, okay? Let's use ser in the simple present. Let's talk about, for example, Vicky's nationality. Ella es, this is a conjugation of the verb ser for the pronoun she, in this case, ella. Ella es venezolana. That is her nationality. For example, we go to another permanent feature of Vicky. I know her. Trust me. Ella es divertida. Yes.
You're so nice.
Thank you. Oh, nice. She's a great teacher, by the way. And another one is we can, for example, again, let's try with Vicky. Ella es profesora. That's her occupation. She's also an engineer. That's a pretty fun fact. You should get to know her. Those permanent features, and you may be wondering now about occupation that doesn't look like permanent. We'll talk about this. Let's go to the verb estar. Let's try a couple examples of the verb estar, right? Location. Let's begin with the easiest one. Location. Yo estoy en casa. I am at home, right? Easy, simple. Yo estoy en casa. That's my location. It's not yo soy casa because you're not a house, right? Easy. And let's try with Vicky again. Vicky, or she, ella, está, no estar. Está because that's a conjugation of the simple present for the verb estar and the pronoun she. Ella está, let's say, en la escuela, at school, right? Non-permanent things, locations. Ella está, I know her. Ella está feliz. Yeah, she's always happy. No. Ella está feliz is like, maybe overall she's not happy with me. Maybe she's a little bit mad. But today she's happy. Ella está feliz today. All right? And so basically that's how we use it. So think about those examples when you're trying to begin learning Spanish, or maybe you're trying to talk, because this is not something just for beginners. I've seen many people, a lot of friends, like high-level Spanish with this little, I wouldn't call them mistakes. I would call them like misunderstandings, because you know how it is. Like, let's say, for example, Vicky, right? Ella es aburrida. It's very different than saying ella está aburrida. Like, she's bored in that moment. She's not a boring person, right? Well, no. But that's basically it. Some like exceptions, like it depends on what you're trying to say. Also, of course, there are exceptions on how something is permanent and non-permanent, but we're going to talk about this in another video. And of course, you leave your comments here, like maybe suggestions, maybe like an advice for other students like you. And well, you hit the like, because you can learn with us a lot of Spanish. Nos vemos pronto en otro Toolbox. Chao, chao.